Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here. Welcome back to Regiment's Phase 2 of Operation Firebird. If you missed our previous episode, make sure you jump back to this game, which is a wonderful Cold War era real-time strategy game that I cannot get enough of. I'm back for more. I know I love it, and I can't wait to continue on to the Kerch Air Force Base, which is our objective today as we play as the Soviets to push through. Interesting little development here. I've noticed that for our defenses, it seems like any area that has a large blue circle around it, we can build defenses, and I'm assuming that's an area that's fully connected to our rear. So any that is connected to only other blue territories, such as this case, instead of these reds, we're allowed to build then anti-air or anti-tank emplacements. In this case, we can build anti-air or strong points, which are very important for stopping the enemy from advancing. We can actually build these along and slow their advance to try to capture things like Bauman's farm. Now, the enemy has a battle group that they may send out at us, so we need to be very cautious about that. And we still have units out in the field from our previous battle, and so these are now dug in and are holding the line against a possible enemy counterattack. But more likely, we're just going to jump off here and capture some of these other objectives. We have 20 minutes to capture as much as we can and then try to move on to our next objective. We need to stage an advance. A stage advance condition is to secure an exit zone, which in this case would be, like, for example, here where it says to next stage. We also want to capture Avaria East. In order to do that, we then need to capture Hill 99 and then the small city down here, which will then give us 30 more victory points, which then will help us in our long-term goal. All right, well, let's go ahead and lay down some strong points to slow down the enemy if they happen to push through the woods. We're going to do that. Our engineers are present to build these defenses, so we're going to, even though the farm is a little isolated, try to build some defenses here so that way we can slow the enemy down. We're going to try to build these. Maybe we can only build one in each sector, it looks like, maybe. Oh, we only have engineer support of one, so we can build one of those plus some defenses like this. So that'll slow them down if they happen to come over this direction. Very good. All right, let's deploy our units. We need to deploy some more units, in which we've got a few already set up from our previous operation, which I find to be quite interesting and very, very helpful. We now have BMP 2s at our disposal in this area, and we'll be pushing forward with some more of our units that will unlock here shortly. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can call out some more of these helpful fighters, including BMP 2s. So let's get them to push up. And we'll eventually call up BMP 3s when we get to that phase as well. We'll have BMP 2s come up to assist us. These will have wonderful ATGMs that should help to fight against the enemy forces that will counterattack. Let's begin. All right, we're going to go ahead and try to get our units to cover to try to hold the line. And interestingly enough, our hotkeys from our previous engagement also are remembered by the system. So all of our preset battle groups, or whatever you want to call them, as you use hotkeys, control groups like 1 and 2 are still recalled, so that's quite helpful. Our supply is still inside the trucks too, so our artillery can continue to bombard enemy positions repeatedly. And we're going to send up our Mi-24Ps, which will scout for enemy tanks and such, as our riflemen also push up. All right, we just called up a bunch of units here. We're going to flank left to Hill 99. So BMPs and tanks are advancing. Look at that. Now the battlefield, this is something that's amazing in this game too. One of the greatest things about World in Conflict, for example, is if you remember in that game, when you'd look around you during operations, you'd see a burning city around you, anti-aircraft guns going off, paratroopers coming in, and it was quite immersive that way. Yesterday, in this operation, literally, I guess, earlier in the day, it was just kind of like a fiery dawn where everything was on fire and there was smoke and a little bit of rain. Now it's hazy and it seems like it's still raining. You can see plumes of smoke in the distance. Maybe massive bombing campaigns, who knows. But anyway, we're going to continue to push forward now and find a route here and uproot the enemy in their dug-in positions here. Our helicopter is doing a good job of taking care of what is a group of Panzer Grenadiers. Stop our units short of that. We'll let the artillery do most of the work as we push towards Hill 99. Tanks will be advancing to support. And we'll start our advance on the Grove here. This position there is very important for the exit that we're about to make. German Panzer Grenadiers are holding the line, but it will not be enough. Soviet forces pushing them out of there quite easily with the artillery and helicopter support. But damn, oh damn, did they have to use a lot of munition to do it. All right, we'll fall back with our Soviet forces. The German forces up in front of us. Looks like we have a good opportunity to use a TBM here, a tactical ballistic missile. We're going to go ahead and call that in to try to conserve our forces. And we're going to call in the BMP-2s from the flank over here to try to get those units off guard as we then creep up again towards the Grove. Oh, look at that. Enemy counterattack at the farm. We did anticipate that, and we did build a strong point. All right, artillery is getting ready to fire at that position. Leopard 2 A1s are on site. We're sending out the orders now to call in artillery on those positions. We're going to devastate the hell out of them as we counterattack. All right, our counterattack will come in with the helicopters. We'll try to secure the farm and rescue those riflemen there. German tanks advancing out of the woods. They will be massively suppressed by that artillery. Off-map artillery and also local artillery will destroy those forces. Helicopters will do a good job of deleting those units there. And the hill has been captured. Excellent. All right, we're going to retreat with our riflemen, see if we can get them out of there. All right, they're now in full retreat to try to conserve them. We still have forces dug in there, BTRs. And artillery will continue to hit them, as well as the helicopters there. Supply units are out of supply. And we'll have to call them off then. We'll have them retreat. Supply units will retreat, so that way they can then resupply and come back. We now attack the city. Looks like we're also capturing the Grove as well. We must hold the farm. Helicopters versus tanks. I think the helicopters are probably going to pull off a win here. We'll keep the artillery firing. And looks like one group of tanks is leaving. Helicopters are in pursuit. They still have rockets. Uh-oh, phase events are playing out. Enemy will be getting some reinforcements, I believe, here shortly. Lovely amount of infantry coming in.
Zone capture.
Friendly forces there. We'll keep our T-64 BVs right there. And all of our tanks are supporting. Oh, listen to the rain sound effects. Just a marvelous game. Just a marvelous game. All right, let's go ahead and have the supply vehicles come back up. They will need to support the artillery. We'll have the artillery finish off those tanks there. Excellent. Oh, enemy artillery firing. Could be off map. Looks like it might be more local. Not seeing from where, though. All right, we got to make some other commands here. All right, we're now capturing the city. Fantastic. Now, the enemy will counterattack. And we will face some problems here shortly. Oh, wow, look at that. The Leopard 2A4 almost completely destroyed by artillery. All right, the supply units will take a while to get here, but I'll have them spread out just a little bit. City's being captured. Unfortunately, there is a Martyr A2 there, causing a little bit of trouble, which could attract artillery, so we need to knock that out. Units should be returning fire on that long ago.
Zone captured.
Oh, all those ATGMs are wonderful. A hit on a T-64. All right, we have more points at our disposal again. Alright, I think it's safe to say that we saved the farm for the most part. While the assault engineers push up. And we'll push up to the next objective there. Looks like the enemy has left the warehouse undefended, so we'll go capture that with the engineers instead. Mi-24s can now resupply with the supply vehicles there. Fantastic. Oh, fantastic music, fantastic operation. Things are going really well. The enemy's getting their reinforcements, but seems to be... Uh-oh. They're going to attack here. Alright, we're going to pull our forces back. Alright, we're going to hold the village. We won't be going much further than this. And we will need that chopper support immediately. Oh, they're out of supply again. With one left, it must mean that they fully resupplied them. Oh, rolling back into an enemy trap. Alright, we have to abandon. Fully abandon. Barrage the hell out of the village. Barrage the hell out of the village. Oh, it looks like our units made it out for the most part. Helicopters are on the way. Alright, we're going to roll into the warehouses there. Looks like our units are successfully retreating. Get the supply trucks out again. Oh, so many vehicles are approaching our tanks there. The enemy has received a battle group during this phase. And that's just bad news for us. We're going to have to try to conserve as many of our units as possible. Ah, damn, the BMPs. Well, an interesting change in plans. Now we're going to go back and get some supply. Alright, we're going to have to wait to get our units again. A little bit of time punishment now. Have our units repair. And RTB. Jaguar 1 there, an anti-tank unit. We're going to destroy that. We're going to try to call in all the units that we can now on this left flank. Damn that Jaguar. Wow, accurate hits every time. We shall replenish those. Alright, we need that supply on the front line. Interesting how that unit was parked there, yet they did not capture the area, so it must have been outside. A feigned retreat, really. Very smart. Alright, more BMP-2s. Alright, we got 9 minutes remaining. It looks like the enemy's got some massive forces on the ground, but really isn't launching a counterattack to reclaim any of their losses. Alright, we gotta get through this barbed wire so that way we can make it easier for our tanks to advance the left flank. If we do that, we'll be able to then capture supply here and move to the next stage, which would be really the smart thing to do. We would then capture the whole map. We have 8 minutes to do it. Supply is just going to be incredibly gobbled up by these units. Some of these haven't even fully resupplied yet. Mostly because we're down to 18 supply. We've used an astronomical amount of artillery. Which is alright, because we've been using it to destroy quite a lot of enemy tanks and a lot of enemy infantry. And we've gained a lot of ground because of it. Now let's push up. Warehouses will give us 75. Alright, helicopters will have to make do. Alright, we have contact. BMP-2s at that range should be incredibly deadly against Jaguar 1s. Aircraft. Damn, accurate hits again. Pesky. Another Jaguar destroyed, and they're finally bailing. Excellent work from the choppers. Now, I don't think we can resupply directly from the warehouse, unfortunately. Ooh, looks like there's some anti-aircraft unit. Okay. Alright, let's pull back with our supply. Looks like we're completely out of that. We're gonna have to use the tanks now to brute force through.
Zone captured.
Panzer Grenadiers in a defensive position. Alright, let's soften up the remaining targets. That may have defenses there. Alright, reinforcements are on the way. Ah, that's the whole brute force right there. The whole German force right on that side. We're pulling back with our units. So many units there. Alright, we're going to fall back for ammunition. We can actually pull back for resupply for these choppers and such here, but holy crap, they're almost destroyed. We're going to fall back with those. See if we can bring up new operational ones. Let's spread out our units. This is going to be a fight. Oh, nice.
5 minutes remaining.
A large delay for our forces because of the enemy receiving that battle group. Otherwise, an open door once we get past these forces. There's probably some more dug-in forces, but they're losing a lot here. Look at this. Anti-aircraft units there. And Leopard 2A4s. Enemy units destroyed. Let's go ahead and get those guys with the artillery strike. Alright, they're right dead center in the middle of it. Beautiful. Oh, wonderful. Massive suppression for their forces. Let's get the choppers up again. Oh, I accidentally pressed Q there. My bad. That's right, we'll get BMPs up as well. Oh. Looks like they're firing smoke rounds on top of us. Alright, we'll get these units back soon. Helicopters successfully retreated. Better than being dead, that's for sure. T-64 is retreating. Alright, we need those choppers in about 9 seconds. And we're definitely going to need some more tanks after this. That battle group is almost destroyed. Failing to retake any of the objectives, though. They basically came in and hit our forces, but we're able to get veterancy from this. They're attempting to recapture. Alright, let's send up the choppers again. Let's make sure we go left flank. Alright, well, once we've taken this, we should have the supply right in front of us. We have taken the city. And that should be the condition at the end of this. Alright, Mi-24Ps engaging those forces as they retreat. Alright, we're now going to tell our forces to move fast to the final objective. See if we can get there within 1 minute and 30 seconds. We'll try to crush everything in the way with the helicopters. Oh, wow. Leopard 2's out in the open against choppers. They're going to be devastated.
1 minute remaining.
Wow. An unfortunate battle group in our way, but a massive loss for the Germans as that force gets completely wiped out. They're attempting to retreat, but I just don't think they're going to make it. An ATGM is going to come from somewhere and bop them. This is too much fire. Wow. They actually made it. No way. Alright, our forces can now advance to the final objective up here. There should be nothing standing in our forces' ways. Oh. Spoke too soon. We'll pull that back. Alright, our forces should be able to advance.
Objective completed.
Woo! Alright. So we'll have one more phase to get through this next section. Excellent work. Excellent work. Alright, so from that we take away 300 operational points so we can replenish and or increase our ranking of our forces a little bit. The tanks definitely need some more love, so let's go ahead and replenish them. 160 points now. We'll need some more supply. We can acquisition plus 200. But I think what we want to do really is get some more units here. So BMP-3s would be useful. Very useful, especially with their ATGMs against enemy tanks. And so we definitely want more of those units. And we want more deployment points too. So I think at this point we'll probably go with the... I think we'll want to go with the deployment points at this point in time. And then we have 10 points to spend on reinforcements, to which everybody's at least at 15. A few losses there. Not bad. Alright, so to cover events then, we can have good and bad events cover us. The last time we had to pick a negative event, which is that battle group that hindered us at the end. But that's how this game changes every time that you play it. Every time the enemy will be set up in different locations, and there'll be events good and bad that you can kind of choose as cards that you have to take no matter what. So obviously if there's a good card, you get a benefit from it, and a bad card, or an uneventful card, that balances it out. Alright, let's jump into battle. We're going to finish this one up and try to clear out the sector that was in front of us and see what we can do. So we're at the Neustadt line, and we pretty much cleared it. There's nothing left in our way.
Objective received.
Aside from, there's nothing in our way except for those forces that were in the way from before. Over here at the area just on the other side of Waria. All right, let's go ahead and thunder in there with all of our tanks and such. We'll try to call in tanks. And we'll have a massive attack from here. It's going to be a massive attack. Excellent. Let's go ahead and call in the Mi-24s. Artillery will be on standby. Artillery sucked up a massive amount of supply, but man, for as dug in as those Germans were, that was going to be the best way to get them out of there. Absolutely destroyed them. All right, we're going to try to call everything out and try to have one big punch to the end of the line. Let's see if we can do it. Oh, boy, we got 200 points. Shilkas, maybe? No. BTR 70s? No. Supply BRM 1Ks might be useful here. Something more for the enemy to shoot at. Not bad. BTR 70 fire support. We're going to try to push everything through here and get some veterancy. Ready? Let's go. Alright, a big push through. Get the Mi-24Ps back. And we're going to have to capture this area here for the supply and then finally to the next stage. And that'll be the end of this map. We won't see any more of this map. And onto a new area just outside the airfield. Look at that attack now. It's starting to become dusk. So that means we'll enter the enemy combat zone at nighttime. That'll be interesting. Around the airfield. Look at this, man. Look at how awesome that looks. Oh, the Grove is being counter-captured. Which is okay. It's not necessarily an important target for us. It's a strategic loss. We need to push through here. We're putting everything we can on taking this area. Alright, let's bombard the hell out of this area. Punish whoever tries to recapture that.
Zone lost.
Alright, a big hit on the anti-aircraft unit that's there. Beautiful. Alright, we gotta get these Panzer Grenadiers out of the way. These guys are so dug in, it's annoying. Let's just delete them. Possible tanks behind us. More tanks again. Boom. Alright, let's push in and take that position. Oh, good. All their forces went over there. Excellent. That'll buy us some time. Alright, we're going to try to minimize losses. The Germans are getting crazy at holding us at this line. Oh, big losses. Alright, so long as we capture this, we can connect our exits. And the Germans are going to have to push through their own defensive line and some of our friendly lines that we've made too. We opted for no more defenses, so we're getting out of here. Alright, enemy units destroyed. Fantastic. Get the hell out of here, boys. Let's go. Oh, no, you don't. Alright, they're trying to block our advance. Oh man, I don't think the Germans could have been any more annoying than this time around. Oh damn, lightning and such too. Very symbolic. Those units have to retreat. Too much artillery. We've got to push hard. We need to push in order to capture everything by our phase date. We can totally win the battle and be super slow and super cautious, but we will lose everything if the American forces are able to regroup at that airfield, and that's why we need to retake all this right now.
Zone captured.
All right, looks like the artillery is pretty much out, and we're low on supplies, so it's time to get the hell out of there. Looks like supply supplies itself after a while. All right, let's go ahead and get a smoke screen on that vehicle. We need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. We gotta go. And we'll do just that. All right, excellent. The artillery was able to successfully retreat. Excellent work. Oh boy. Alright, now we can overwhelm this vehicle at close range. Mi-24Ps engaging the 2A4s. Alright, finally we can get the hell out of here. Go! And this also helps us to grind Veterancy for later times as well, so a little delay will make them pay. Whew. Alright, the tanks are finally leaving. Dear God, absolute hell on earth. Enemy counterattack. Now at this point, since we've already entered this phase, whether it takes us 10 minutes or 100 minutes or 1,000 years, well, so long as we do it, we're all right.
Zone captured.
I don't think that vehicle can actually capture. All right, now we just need to keep the corridor open until the end of the battle. We'll only have 43 supply. Are they artillerying me? Wow. The Luke's anti-aircraft weapon. Alright, everything's got to get out of there. Reinforcements got to come up again. Wow. One hell of a battle. Forces are getting a little low. But we will pick our objectives off one by one. We got to keep this corridor open now. We're starved for some tanks. I went heavily into those aircraft, and my God, I've never seen the Germans put up such a fight in the first phase like this. That's insanity. All right, let's wrap things up here. All right, well, the enemy wasted their time trying to recapture the whole right flank. Meanwhile, the left flank was wide open, and we ground out a lot of veterancy from that, despite taking losses, which we can replenish now via our our acquisition points, our authority points, that'll be all right. We've got now a lot of points for all the tanks that we need back. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and spend a few points there. We'll get our tank numbers back up. We'll get our helicopter numbers back up. And we'll have to be a little more careful with some of our units this time around, but we should be able to then push our forces forward to the airfield. So we'll get the rest of those juicy BMPs ready. Excellent. Oh yeah, that's going to be good. Razor thin on some of our forces, but we'll be all right, I think. And with a little bit of operational authority remaining, we should be able to call in even more units for our next time. I think what we may focus on in the future is the Molot, the Armored Task Force. That'll give us a bunch of additional tanks, which will be good. We'll need quite a few points for it, but this is where we'll really make the money. We should be able to make a lot of money here in terms of securing the final objectives and pushing on. Well, I thank you guys for joining me for our second episode of Regiments. I'll be back next time with more Operation Firebird. Thanks for joining. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again for your support, and remember, you can download this one on Steam now. Goodbye.